Oh, how you doing?
Yeah, good mate, you?
Yeah, I've not spoken to you for a while, have I?
No.
What's been going?
You sound a bit down. You're normally quite upbeat.
Me? No. I was just doing some research. I was just watching a program about John DeLorean, about the DeLorean car.
Oh, mate, I thought it's on Netflix.
I don't know if there's one on there. It's off BBC. I think I recorded it.
Oh, I'm sure I downloaded it. I haven't watched it yet. I know it looks really good, that did.
Yeah, I'm a bit of the way into it now, but yeah, it's all right. There's a lot more to him apart from obviously the DeLorean Back to the Future car, but the general impression I'm getting about him at the moment is he was a bit of a big head, really.
Oh, yeah, no, I've not watched any of it. Shall I tell you something I've just watched that's really good?
What?
It's a new, you know I love my documentaries on Netflix because it's fucking mental, and I've just watched that, The Disappearance at the Cecil Hotel.
Now, I'm halfway through that.
Oh, mate.
Can I ask you one question?
Go on.
One question, right? Because me and the missus, look, I wanted to watch the end. I wanted to watch to the end, but is it one of the, we have not an argument about it, discussion about it, because she hates it when you get these documentaries and you never find out who did it at the end. You just kind of wasted 6 hours not finding out. So do you actually find out at the end who's done it?
I can't tell you.
Do you know? You can answer that.
I can't.
What? Yes or no? Did they find out who's done it at the end?
I can't. If I answer it, it'll spoil the ending.
Well, if you say no, I ain't gonna bother watching it.
Well, I can't. No, but if I tell you, no, because it is good. It is good.
Yeah, but the thing is, I've got to try and convince her that it's worth watching another 2 hours of it.
He watched it. He got up to the bit where
they found the body. They found the body.
Has it told you that somebody famous has been stopped in the hotel?
I don't think so.
Right, you need to carry on watching it.
Yeah, but is it gonna?
Oh, mate, I don't know. Yeah, but if I give you an hint, you'll know that what the ending's like.
Yeah, but is it going to be?
It's not. The ending's not what you think it's going to be.
Is it what I'm saying? Is there a decent ending?
I wouldn't say it's decent, but I wouldn't say crap.
Well, I don't. That's not a glorious review you're giving it there.
I think it's good all the way through. I think the ending's not. I don't know. I don't know how to describe it. No, it's good. It is good, and there's lots of twisters to it.
Is it as good as not?
He got to the bit, about the frenzy on the internet about it all.
Yeah, I don't know. I can't remember. I've been watching loads of stuff recently.
Yeah, you need to carry on watching it. There's oh mate, honestly, you need to watch it. There's loads more to it.
I wouldn't stop there. What it made us realise, and we were discussing this, is that if you're gonna now, whenever we book a hotel, we're gonna look at.
Oh, you research it. That's the first thing Angela said. Why have these people not done any of the proper research?
You're gonna look at the local crime statistics. But I mean,
you look at everything.
I mean, but naturally, though, you wouldn't go around thinking, "Oh, I'm gonna go to New York and I'm gonna look at the local. I'll go and research the local crime statistics." But that being said, I probably would. Know me.
Well, for example, when we went up there, we knew that the hotel we were going to wasn't like.
It's a bit different since like downtown Los Angeles, though.
No, what I was going to say is, we knew that the hotel we booked wasn't going to be like a Premier Inn or like, you know what I mean? And we've done enough research to know that it was in a really good location, everything we wanted to do, and we'd already planned everything. But then when we got there, it was a pleasant surprise because we'd already done the research. You know what I mean? It wasn't like an hotel where you think, wow, this is comfort. It was an hotel to sleep in. That's it. But then when we got there, it was actually better than what we expected. I
don't know if that is a great comparison.
Expectation.
Is that what you were saying, really?
Yes, yeah, because it was a backpackers hotel.
It's a bit different to downtown LA. You know, when they say downtown, I don't think of downtown being rough. I just think of it in being in the middle of town or something. I don't think of it.
The way they say downtown, their downtown's probably the same size as Nottingham.
Yeah, but
City, the whole of Nottingham, not just the city centre of Nottingham, the whole of Nottingham. So we're just downtown stop. That's why I know in America when they go like, oh yeah, we're going downtown, but we're just downtown stop because they're downtown in Los Angeles. It's fucking huge. It's probably in half the size of Britain.
That's just not true.
It probably is, you know. Well, you look at, is it Texas? You can get like, is it something like 12 Englands in Great Britain's in Texas or something?
Yeah, but I don't think Los Angeles is as big as the UK.
It is. I mean, it's a big old area.
Los Angeles is not as big as the United Kingdom. It's not 700 miles long, is it?
Is it Compton there? That's classed as a city, isn't it?
Well, how big do you think Compton is?
Bigger than Nottingham.
No, of course it can't be.
I bet it's big, you know.
You've got some sort of like spatial awareness issue going on today.
I've always had spatial awareness issues.
There's no way Compton's as big as Nottingham. They got. I tell you what, you'd never. If you just said to someone, let's go for a drive ride through Compton, and it's the size of Nottingham from like Clifton to like Arnold, you'll get out alive. Getting across that, you'd be gone, wouldn't you?
Arnold's not classed as Nottingham, is it?
What? Arnold?
Yeah, it's Nottinghamshire.
Same thing, innit?
It's not the same thing.
Well, it is really. To us, it is.
Oldnor's not in Nottingham. It's Nottinghamshire.
Yeah, but I don't give a shit because it's still the same thing.
It's not the same thing.
Of course it is. If you live here, you don't make a big deal out of it. Going, oh, now I'm in Nottinghamshire. You don't. No.
Oldnor don't like being part of Nottingham.
Says who?
That's the people I speak to.
Well, you're speaking to me. I'm not saying that.
It's like, I never understood when like people who live in Oldnor, they never go, I'm going downtown. They always go, I'm going down to Nottingham.
Yeah, they do say that. That's true. It is a bit weird. When they say town, they mean Hucknall High Street.
Hucknall High Street, that's what they mean.
Which you can walk down in about 3 minutes.
3 minutes,
yeah. But they go downtown, and if they get to Nottingham, they're going to Nottingham, not town.
We just got Amazon Prime as well now.
Oh, have you?
Yeah, we've got it today on the trial. I've got Apple TV as well on a 12-month trial.
Don't watch. Now, some of the stuff I know you like the kids, but if you watch a series and it's good, don't let the kids watch it for God's sake. Called The Boys, right? Watch The Boys. It's about superheroes, right? But they're off their heads. It's proper graphic, but do not let the kids watch it. Like, do not. Like, I can't overstate that enough.
The Boys.
It's not on for the kids. The Man in the High Castle's good.
Yeah. Well, we want to watch Borat tonight.
Oh, you love a bit of Borat, don't you?
I love Borat. Yes, man.
It's some of the most uncomfortable telly you can watch. That is.
Oh yeah. I've seen some of the trailers for it. The one with Rudy Giuliani. How has he still got a career?
Yeah, but they set him up a bit with that. I mean, when you watch it...
They didn't set him up to put his hands down his trousers.
No, when you watch it, it's quite innocent, I think. I don't think there's anything to it. That's how old men took themselves in. He had to lie down. To tuck himself in properly.
Oh, I'm not having that.
When you watch it, it's honestly, I was like, no, they're making something like that. If he did, he didn't make enough. There wasn't enough of it to say you could definitely say he's doing something. Because, I mean, fair play for them to getting involved in that interview in the first place. Because they're either stupid or they're just a bit more liberal than we think they are.
Yeah.
Do you not think?
Yeah, I agree.
How did you get Amazon Prime then? What?
Oh, with a delivery you get 6 months free with Amazon, so we got it for 6 months, and then we're going to see what it's like after that.
It's alright. It's got a lot more movies on it now than it used to have.
There's quite a good, because I like Grand Tour as well. I've been watching a bit of Grand Tour today.
Oh, you got the some of the specials on there, the Grand Tour specials.
I've just been watching Seaman. That's a really good one.
And A Massive Hunt.
That's a look at that. Yeah, I'm going to watch that one. I'll probably watch it tonight, mate, to be honest with you.
You don't like, you sound like you're getting carried away. You don't burn that. Yeah, don't burn that candle too hard. You kind of like, you need to, there's some shit on there though as well. Yeah. I would say that.
I've got got something to ask you. What's the album you listen to in the car at the moment? Or what songs have you got on at the moment in your car?
I don't tend to listen with Amazon Prime. I get Amazon Prime Music.
Okay.
So I tend to stream every single thing I've ever had. So I can listen from anything. I mean, what I've been listening to most recently is probably stuff like I always listen to House of Pain anyway a lot.
Yeah.
Limp Bizkit, House of Pain I've been listening to. I've been listening to Hans Zimmer's orchestra in Prague. Hans Zimmer is pretty impressive. Have you seen it on YouTube with the one from Prague, the live concert?
Yeah, well, I watched that. Well, I didn't see that, but I watched that. Andre, what's his name, quite a lot, because I was supposed to go and see him this year.
Oh, yeah. Andre Bocelli, you mean?
No, Andre, fucking hell, I forgot his name.
The blind guy?
No.
Hello? Hello?
With the violin.
Oh, I don't know. You disappeared for a second.
Well, I am moved. You can't blame me, and I've got a new phone, so you can't blame me.
I do blame you.
Andre Roux.
I don't know who he is.
Oh, it's good.
Don't know. Why were you interested in that anyway?
No, I had an album on today, and my wife was laughing because I like it so much.
What is it?
I just thought of it as cross. ABBA, Great Hits.
I don't know if I could do that.
I was driving down the road, like, take a chance on me, like, giving it the big one, and then the next album after was Foo Fighters.
You're particularly upbeat for a Monday.
Yeah, I've had a good day, actually.
Yeah, I'm a bit tired, I think, because I did yesterday. I did a load of exercise. I did 1,000 calories on the bike, and then I went on about a 16-mile walk as well.
Yeah.
And then
that's how my car to get to work.
But I had kebab meat and chips last night.
Did you?
To compensate.
And I had a KFC.
What, last night?
Yeah.
What did you have?
Chicken.
Oh, I know you had chicken. What is...
Chicken burger and chips.
Is that a filling?
Yeah, it was alright.
Did you not eat anything later on then?
I had this on the dinner.
You had a Sunday dinner as well as a KFC?
Yeah, but we have our Sunday dinner quite early though, don't we?
You do realise this is probably why you're not losing weight?
Oh no, I've lost a little bit.
Yeah, but you had a KFC as like a side option on a Sunday.
Yeah, but it's Valentine's Day.
Well, yeah.
I thought I'd get going with a bit of chicken.
I don't think Valentine's Day screamed KFC, personally.
It was her choice, it wasn't my choice. She wanted the KFC, so I got it for her.
Just trying to keep you happy, that's what it is.
I want that too close, to be honest with you. That's why I have a lot.
She knows what you love. Yeah. That's what it is. You live and breathe KFC.
I don't live and breathe KFC, that's not true.
KFC comes up all the time. KFC nearly comes up as much as boxing comes up. Jimmy Savile's third place now, because I think you consciously made an effort not to talk about him, but you just spoke about him, I suppose, so...
Yeah, but it's because you say it. I don't even mention him a lot.
If you had to go on holiday with Jimmy Savile, or Gary Glitter, or Michael Jackson. Gary Glitter. You've gone on, why?
I don't know. It won't go for me.
I've got to be honest with you. I think Gary Glitter would draw the least amount of attention out of those three. Do you think? Because I don't think Gary Glitter's probably the least known. You got Savile. Savile's all about the attention. Michael Jackson's all about the attention. Gary Glitter, he was all about the attention in 1976, probably. Yeah. But I think
Gary Glitter likes his Oriental boys as well.
You just want to keep him away from Thailand.
Yeah, exactly.
That's all. I thought we could do a little bit, just trying to motivate ourselves into sort of some healthy living. I thought we could take a look at Sparta. Do you know anything about Sparta?
What? I don't know. You lost me. I don't know what you mean.
Do you know what Sparta is, or Sparta was? Ancient Greece?
Greece, yeah. Well, right, it's off 500. It's Sparta!
It's off what?
500.
300, you tit.
I thought it was 500.
No, there's 300. Definitely free. 500. You're 200 too many. If they're 500, they would have really whooped their asses.
Was that the sequel?
No, you know, the sequel was shit. I think it's Rise. I think it's 300 Rise of Empires was the sequel.
I've never watched it.
You've never watched 300?
No.
Get out of here.
Never watched it.
How have you? It's on Prime, incidentally.
Is it?
Right, do me a favour and watch 300 tonight. Don't let the kids watch it though.
You saying don't let the kids watch it? What do you mean? I don't let them.
What would you say is unreasonable for the kids to watch? Right, all right. I'll make it easier for you. I'll throw some films at you.
Yeah.
Jaws.
Yeah, that's fine.
Okay, Jaws is fine. So I'm trying to think of. I want to sort of climb up the ladder of disapproving this. V for Vendetta.
Never watched it.
Oh, have you never watched that?
Never watched it.
Where have you been living? Okay. Let me think. Right, I'll go straight to the top of the tree. I'm gonna go straight to like Crazy Land. Nightmare on Elm Street.
Not watching.
They're not watching that.
No.
Full Metal Jacket.
My oldest has watched it.
And how old is he?
14.
Fucking hell. Apocalypse Now.
They've never watched that, no.
I don't like it.
No, I don't. Too long.
It's boring, isn't it?
It's not Full Metal Jacket, sorry.
Alright, Pulp Fiction.
The oldest has watched that.
What, he's 14?
Yeah.
Mate, you've got to get better control over that. You can't, he's 14.
No, I don't think he's watched it. No, he hasn't watched it.
He's backtracking. I feel like he has watched it.
I don't think he has. Let me ask him. Let me shout him.
Eh?
I'll shout him, ask him.
What, has he watched Pulp Fiction?
Yeah.
Go on then.
Wait 1 minute. Hey! Have you watched Pulp Fiction?
What?
Have you watched Pulp Fiction, the film?
No.
No, you haven't watched it.
Well, ask him what the scariest film he's watched is.
What's the scariest film you've ever watched? No, you haven't watched that.
It?
No, what's the scariest film you've watched? Be serious.
I don't know.
You don't know?
No.
What do you mean you don't know?
I don't watch that much game. Predator.
You haven't watched Predator?
Yeah, yeah. My mum watched
You watched Predator? Is that bad?
That is bad, yeah. Well, we'll see.
I've never even watched that. Get inside, you're grounded.
I'm not sure.
I've never watched that myself.
See, you never watched Predator?
No, I don't watch. You know I don't watch scary films.
It's not scary, but the Predator skins people.
Yeah, I've never watched it.
And people get blown up and shit.
His favourite film is Jaws. One of his favourite films is Jaws.
I think Jaws is a bit boring as well.
Yeah, well, it's alright for the era, wasn't it?
It does feel like you need to tighten your parental observations a little bit there.
I didn't go watch Predator. That's right. Why me up? I'm going to smack down on that.
Well, you need to lay down the law, that dread on that. Right. So I don't know if I need to leave Spartans with you for a bit, or do you want me to talk at you about Sparta?
Can I talk about something now? It's quite important.
Well, yeah.
It goes on to the parental subject a little bit.
All right.
I've been talking a bit about sex education with my boys, or my oldest mainly, because I didn't know it's hard to gauge when it's the right time. But my wife told me to shut up because, she said that.
Well, we'll start from the beginning then. First off.
So I said to him, I said, look, you need to be straight with her. Do I need to talk about Adam and Eve or Adam and Steve?
Wait there. And how old was this kid?
14.
Well, this is the oldest.
Yeah.
Let's watch Predator.
Not the middle one. No, yeah.
Right.
So I said to him, do I need to talk about Adam and Eve or Adam and Steve?
Right, okay.
I thought it's a different conversation. Or I said, do you want me to talk about both?
And did he understand what you meant?
Yeah, he did, yeah.
And what did he say?
He just said, shut your mouth. I said, just went bright red. So I said, is it Adam and Eve? And he went, yeah, it's Adam and Eve.
Right.
Oh, that's good then. I went, so then I went, have you got any ears on your balls yet?
Why are you asking these questions?
Because I need to know what stage in puberty is.
Why does that matter?
Because I know I was a late developer, so I know if you've got ears on your balls, like what stage you're at.
What's that got to do with the price of cheese?
I don't know what to talk about. So I said to him, have you started getting morning glory?
Well, I don't even know what that is.
It's when you get an erection in the morning.
Why are you saying these things like in code? It's freaking me out.
Because I get a bit embarrassed, so I try and
let me give you some friendly advice. If you get embarrassed, you're not helping yourself along the way with this.
But he's trying to make it more user friendly campaign.
It feels quite intimidating.
Yeah. So then I said to him, "Do you know where babies come from?"
Mm.
And he was like, yeah. What else did I was talking to him about? I started talking about STDs and
STD sounds like something an Ewok says out of Star Wars, doesn't it?
Yeah,
STD!
Yeah, because I said to him about, you got to make sure you use protection, but if you don't...
Hang on a minute, he's 14.
Yeah, I know, but that's what I mean. I don't know what stage because my dad never had this conversation with me and my brothers.
What is he going on night out? Or is he got a huge social agenda at the moment? Or what's he doing?
Because it says, when I've done a bit of research, she said 14 is probably around the right age. Because they start talking about sex at 8, 9 now, don't they? Younger, a lot younger than that. But I thought, as a dad, I'd be responsible and have that conversation with him. And I thought I'd, give him some tips of, what I've picked up over the years.
All right, well, what did you say then?
I said to him, if you don't want to use protection, I said, just make sure that you're with somebody that you like.
Right.
Don't just rush into it.
I don't know if that's not really, what's the word?
I said, don't rush into it. I said, don't just, you know what I mean?
Shouldn't you say you should always use protection to him instead?
No, I disagree, because I never use protection.
Yeah, but we're not talking about you here, are we? 1950s, man.
Yeah, but that's why I thought it was important, because even though I've never used protection, I think the way I did it was quite a responsible way of doing it.
What, you just stuck with the same woman from the age of 16?
Yeah, and it was a year before we did anything.
But are you going to expect him to do the same thing?
No, I was just telling him, no, that's not what I said. I said to him, use protection if you want to, but if you don't want to use protection, you're with the right person. What prompted... I think that's good advice.
Well, I'm not disagreeing. I'm just interested in your method, as always. Because you kind of you take a funny path to stuff sometimes.
Yeah.
It's it can be more straightforward, but...
I was just thinking, from my own experience, that, me and my brothers have never used protection, and but we're all pretty much from the same people, except Shane.
I'm a bit stunned. I think you tranquilised me a little bit with that.
I did say, make sure she's on the pill.
Would he know what that is?
Oh, that's what I was trying to tell him.
Right. And what was Angela saying for all this? She just letting you...
Yeah, she was getting a bit embarrassed.
What, because of what you're saying?
Yeah.
I can totally understand that point of view right now.
Well, I started talking about STDs and shit. I said, you can't be really careful.
And when you said STD to him, what did you say? Because you wouldn't have just said STD, surely.
Oh, that's an STD. No, I told him what some of the STDs were.
Like what?
I said AIDS, HIV/AIDS.
Straight in there with AIDS.
I said that comes from monkeys. And then, what else did I talk about? Hepatitis.
Which one?
Well, I don't know, I just said hepatitis. I didn't realise there was loads of others.
I suppose it don't matter when, A, B, C, who cares?
Genital warts.
I remember being in the hospital once, and the doctor asked me, I was lying in the bed, and he could see my tattoos, and he asked me, have you got hepatitis? I went, fuck off, cheeky bastard. Do you know what I mean?
Did you actually know that?
I don't know. I was like, matron.
That's a to ask somebody.
I know, fuck off, Professor. Get out of my face.
The thing is, it's hard to do now because he's not obviously fully developed yet, but I thought it was important to do it now because I wish I had somebody 13, 14, 15 because we could openly talk about things like that to me.
I never spoke to my parents about it, ever.
Yeah, you know, Mark, a lot of things come to you when your body's changing, they come to you as a shock, and some of the things are very, very scary. And it's nice to know that A, somebody else has been through it, so that you're not on your own, and B, what
do you mean? I mean, I'll be totally honest with you. All the way through growing up, I was never shocked by anything, so I don't know what you mean. What do you mean shocked? Like, I'm
not going to go into it.
I wasn't shocked. I didn't experience any level of shock. I wasn't surprised by anything. That's what I don't understand.
Surprised might not be the word then, but like when your body's changing, it's some of the things that happens are a bit unusual, aren't they?
I suppose. I mean, I'm not disagreeing. I just wonder what you mean because I mean, I never had a conversation with my parents about it, or actively tried not to talk to them about stuff like that if I could help it.
Yeah.
I don't know about you.
I got really embarrassed the first time I ejaculated.
Oh God, shut up.
What?
I feel like we should have like an 18 certificate on this now.
We can't have an 18 certificate.
This is not the sort of conversation. When I thought I'll ring you up on a Monday afternoon.
Don't we tell you what happened?
No, I mean, have I got a choice?
Well, I was on holiday, and
oh,
I met
come
this
on.
girl. What?
Is this... Right, are you going to get in trouble for this?
No. I think she knows about it. Yeah.
Is this like... Because are you alright for me to broadcast this to the whole of the public? Like, there's going to be people...
I'm not embarrassed by it.
There's going to be people in Germany listening to this.
Oh, I was embarrassed at the time because it was all down my trousers.
There's going to be people in Argentina. We've got quite a large audience in California.
Yeah, but this is the thing. People don't openly talk about stuff like this. This is why these stigmas are going like, and this is why people are like getting mental health issues and stuff because people don't openly talk about stuff like this because I'm a bit prude with stuff, but I've always tried to be very open with my kids about stuff.
Fucking alright, Mother Teresa, get on with it then.
You know what I mean? Well, I was on holiday and I was kissing this girl that I met on holiday, and then things happened, and then I didn't know what had happened.
That's not the longest story in the world, was it?
No, and then I looked down and something had happened, and I had to go and change my trousers.
Didn't you have pants on?
And it scared the shit. Oh, yeah, pants on. I had to change them as well, but it scared the shit out of me, and it stunk.
What? God, there's so many questions. Where did you go with that? What did you think had happened?
I thought that at first I thought I pissed myself.
Yeah.
And then I realised it wasn't piss. And then I thought I had some kind of infection that had burst. So how old was I? I was 14.
I mean, to be fair, these are all things that could have happened to you, because these are the sort of things that happen to you.
Yeah, and then I could smell something really bad. And it was really stunk. And I was like, I absolutely shit myself. And I didn't speak to anybody about it. And then after that, I didn't kiss that girl again.
What, did you associate her with that problem?
Well, you do, don't you? You do associate things with stuff.
Listen, don't involve me in this.
Oh, you do though. That's what
there's no we in this conversation. It's I. Do you know what I mean? I don't want to be involved too far into this conversation. I'm just an observer right now.
It wasn't a magical experience. I was in Spain as well.
Maybe you should share that experience with your oldest. See what he says.
What? Say, he stunk.
I would pay money for you to video that and send it, mate, and you telling him that story. I'd keep that video forever. Why have you decided to be so, God, you're a good parent, really, aren't you? You're a good parent. So you are. You're a good parent. I don't know if we had...
I've always tried to be open about things, because like, especially his age, things are changing, aren't there? And it's weird, things that happen that are weird that you don't expect. It's like just all of a sudden getting hair on your balls is weird.
Well, I was never surprised by anything like that. I don't know. I can't. I'm honestly.
Because my family are Catholic.
What's
I think
that
it's just because it's Catholic. I think that you don't really talk about stuff like that. Because it's like, I couldn't imagine my mum like going, just like, cover all the bases like with sexuality and stuff.
I'm telling you that my mum's not Catholic, but it's nothing to do with religion. Because my mum was exactly the same. My mum would never picked up a conversation with me about.
Well, it's more of a dad's conversation, isn't it? It's not.
Well, that was even less likely. There's no way on this planet that conversation would have ever happened, ever. So, and it's got nothing to do. It's got nothing to do with being Catholic, because my parents aren't Catholic at all, and they're the same.
I just think it's important just to be open about it, especially in this like era of like mental health and like the teen suicide rate. With young men, is so high. And a lot of it is because people are open to not just obviously talk about sex, but just things in general. That's why I said to him, and he knows I wasn't being like horrible when I was going, is it an Adam and Eve and Adam and Steve conversation? Because even though I put it in like a comedy way, it was just because I don't want it. If he is, I want him to be honest about it. Are you saying that to make him more comfortable then? So. Yeah, exactly. So he's not. He don't think that he has to hide. I don't want him to hide anything. I've always said that to him. I've always said, like, if you've done something wrong, or something's happened, or just something's happening, as soon as you tell me, and we'll deal with the consequences together.
Well, he's already watching Predator. It's a slippery slope, isn't it?
Yeah, but he's a good kid. He's a good kid.
What else is he doing that you don't know about?
But nothing. He fucking better not be a little bastard.
No, I think it's good. I think you being a responsible parent, I think it's easier because you got 3 lads.
Yeah. Oh yeah, a lot easier. Jesus. You got girls, fucking. Cause it's that whole thing. Can you remember the Evans joke? And he will always stick with me where he says, if you've got a girl, when she's going out, you go, who you going with, what you wearing, what time you're going to be back, all this kind of stuff. And then when you've got a boy, you go, give her one for me, son. It's like a different attitude into it.
Did you do sex education at school?
I put a condom on a Bunsen burner.
We didn't do any of that, you see.
Yeah, that was our sex education. We put a condom on the Bunsen burner. They're doing sex education at primary school now, but they don't call it sex education. It's about relationships and how different people interact with each other. That's what we call it. So our middle son, he's in year 6, and he's already done like talking about relationships and talking about like different kinds of people and all that kind of stuff.
How do you feel about them learning it at school?
I'm not allowed to. But the only thing that I don't like, and I said this when I went in, I don't like them talking about transgender at such a young age. And the reason I don't like that is if they are transgender, I'd sooner they do it at an age where, because you know yourself, like watching these programs, a lot of them, what they go through is irreversible. And I don't think like a primary school age.
The thing is, as well, the only thing I would say is that kids are impressionable, so I don't think they know who they are until a lot later in life, and they could think they feel a certain way, and then I think you've got a point. I think then later out in life realise that they don't actually feel that way. It's just a kind of sometimes it's a phase, sometimes it's not. And I think they're big decisions for an 8-year-old or 10-year-old to be making. And it's complicated, isn't it? Because that's not an easy subject.
It goes on for years. And like I say, I feel sorry for anybody who goes through that, because you naturally feel you're on your own. You can't talk to people. Like I say, and I've been a couple of people who I know who've gone transgender. And gone through it all, and and when they talk to me about it, like some of the operations are horrendous, and you won't go through that just because of a fad or because of Well, because it's popular. You know what I mean? There's something in your head that's making you feel that you're not that person.
Well, do they teach that at school now then?
No, I don't think they're doing like that. I think it's more around, like different people and different, you know what I mean? And I think that's the only thing that I brought up about it. I think
if that's sex education, it feels like A-level degree.
It's all relationships and stuff. That's all it is.
I expect them to cover off the basics.
Yeah.
And have like at secondary school, have a knowledge of it to a degree. But I think the other thing is as well is that there's that much on social media platforms.
Absolutely.
It's probably unavoidable now. Whereas when I was growing up, I didn't know if there was gay people in the school or not. I wouldn't have, to be honest with you, I would never even cross my mind. I wouldn't even thought about it because no one really did talk about it. So I wouldn't have had a clue. I wouldn't have even thought about it, and it wouldn't have come up ever in conversation at all. And I'm sure it does now. I'm sure it's a totally different ball game now, isn't it?
Yeah.
But that was in what I started comprehensive school. Sort of 1986, 87, and it was just not even spoken about at all. Well, I can't remember doing sex education.
No.
I
just remember putting a condom on the Bunsen burner.
I remember religious education. That bored the shit out of me.
So I was quite good at
that. Did you ever? I mean, what school did you go to? A Catholic school?
No, we went to Everett Mellish, which is one of the roughest schools in Nottingham. It's closed down now.
Our kids went to their primary school was a Catholic school, but we only sent them there because we could get them in.
Yeah, well, they're always the best ones, aren't they? Let's be honest.
Yeah, they did good, but my oldest daughter was telling us yesterday. It says they managed to fit prayers and Jesus into every lesson somehow, like everything. Don't matter what subject you were doing. Yeah, they managed to get Jesus in there somehow, and they do like prayers 6 times a day. But
even PE.
Yeah, everything. I mean, literally, it was in everything. And they did, I think, 6 prayers a day they did or something.
Yeah.
And I didn't know any of this because I wouldn't have paid any attention. I would have just dropped them off at school and picked them up. And then just happy if they get the grade. And it was a good school, so I can't knock it. But I think isn't it weird as a parent whether it's your preferences and sexuality or religion that you force that on your kid?
Yeah, I agree. It's like listening to Ricky Gervais is quite good about when you think about religion, because he said something that stuck with me. He said, is it coincidental or is it you're chosen around what religion you are, depends on what country you're born in. And I always find that fascinating. Because it's like, how does God know to make everybody in like Iran Muslim, or in Ireland Catholic, or you know what I mean, or in Israel Jewish? Or is it just a coincidence that because you're born there, that's what religion you choose? It's a fascinating way of looking at it. Do you know what he said about religion? I don't know if I've ever said this before. Even though, obviously, my family are very religious, and he said something that I find very interesting. And he said, if you took all the Bibles away, you took all the religious scriptures and all of it away, and you rewrote it all, none of it would be exactly the same, and a lot of it would change. But he said, if you took all the way the science and all the way the information and all the research, and you did it all again, it would be exactly the same. And I thought that was quite an interesting way of looking at science and religion. Well,
one's belief, isn't it?
Yeah.
If you
took away all the scriptures, they would all be different, whereas if you took away all the science research, they'd all be the same.
You can choose to believe, but you can't choose to believe a fact. A fact's a fact.
Yeah, but some of the scientists that believe they're into it. They believe that the Big Bang Theory happened.
Well, yeah, but there's evidence, isn't there?
There's some evidence, but there's not a lot of evidence. There's a belief still in a lot of science.
No.
But there's obviously a lot of it's fact, but there is some belief in some of the research.
With belief, they just don't have it. It's not
Concrete.
It's not just like dreamed up of. They've still got evidence for the data that it's suggesting. They don't just say, "Oh, I believe this because I'm a scientist." Every scientist backs it up with evidence. And the thing is,
I agree with that.
with religious scripture, there is no evidence. It's all belief.
Yeah.
It's all belief. There is nothing in there that's fact. It's whether you believe it or not. But even with the Big Bang or whatever, I mean you go after the big fish straight away with the Big Bang, but you know, it's like the flat earthers. The flat earthers are some of the most craziest people in the world, that they believe that the earth is flat. And you know, there's web pages, there's societies about it, they have conventions, they've got their own podcasts and stuff, and it's dead easy to disprove the flat earth theory. Is that they just think it's a one big conspiracy, which is the most impossible conspiracy you could ever have, that everybody on the planet is being fooled. But they choose to believe that, and they make their own facts up. And you find that with religious scriptures as well, that people build their own facts around their own belief. They have, I mean, whether it's unconscious or conscious bias, they find the facts, and that's the problem with the internet, is that people find the facts that they want to agree with.
Yeah.
You know, because they go out and they look for the stuff that they agree with, and aren't objective about it at all. And I think that's where the internet and social media becomes really dangerous, is because people can go down dark rabbit holes and get themselves lost in their own bullshit sometimes.
Yeah.
Would you not agree?
Yeah. Yeah, I agree.
You got nothing to add on the back of that?
Right.
It's because you started on religion, you see.
Oh, yeah, well, there you go.
It's a religion, because you claim you're not religious. You say you are, but you're not. You're not.
Well, yeah.
You are when it suits you.
I get forced to go to church.
When's the last time you went to church?
God. Well, obviously with lockdown and everything, it's been a while.
When's the last time you got, apart from getting married, when's the last time you went to church? Or somebody else's wedding? If it wasn't for a wedding.
No, I go through, what's it called, early communion. I was going once a month.
When was that?
God, a while ago now. It's only because of lockdown. Was it probably March last year?
You've never mentioned doing that.
Yeah, I've told you before I go for communion once a month.
The thing is, I never know whether you're telling the truth half the time.
No, I do early communion.
Oh.
You know what early communion is, don't you?
Is it where you go put the bread in your mouth?
Yeah, bread and wine.
Like, you go taste the flesh of Christ?
And the blood of Christ.
Because that's not normal, is it? At the special...
It's important to some people, so if it's important to some people, it's important to me.
At the special altar?
Yeah, the special altar.
Sounds like a cult. It's worse than Scientology.
If I was going to join a cult, I'd definitely join that Hail Satan.
Yeah.
I like that one.
Because it's cool, isn't it?
It's just not what you think it is.
Did I tell you my story about when I met him?
Yeah, you did. I think you did it on the podcast.
I can't remember if I said it or not.
I'm sure you did.
We were at the broad. Shall I just say it again?
Tell it again.
Tell it again.
I like it.
We was at the we went to I really wanted to see the film Hail Satan because I just wanted to see it because I knew it'd be like crazy about the Satanic Temple organisation, and they've set themselves up as a religion, and it's not really a religion. It's more of a social movement. You know what I mean? People movement more than anything else. About civil rights, I would say, for everybody, inclusiveness for everybody. And anyway, they're just trying to prove a point. And so I went to the Broadway cinema with the missus. I was like, I want to see Hail Satan. And I was stood downstairs waiting to go in. And there was one screening before us, and we had the second screening. And at this first screening, this like load of Satanists came out, like dressed in black, and like they had Satan 666 on the t-shirts and shit, and like black makeup and shit like that. And you know, they're really, you can see they were batting for Satan. They really loved him. And for some reason, they all congregated around me, and I think I must have those like Lucifer vibes or something going off. And and I could see the missus backing away because for some reason this circle formed around where I was stood, and I found myself in amongst all these Satanists talking about like hail Satan. The missus had disappeared around this corner. I'm like, fuck, and I ended up getting one of the business cards off one of them, and it did, and it was, I got a business card off the head of the Satanic Temple of the United Kingdom, and I didn't know, but they'd just been in there, and they just had on screen, on the cinema screen, they'd had like a Zoom call with to America with Lucian Greaves, who's the head of the Satanic Temple in Salem, Massachusetts, and they'd just been on a Skype call with him, and to say they were excited is an understatement. That they were buzzing, and I ended up walking away. I must have shown you that card.
Yeah.
And off I go, and I made some friends there, and then we just went in and watched it. But you know, you couldn't plan that in a million years.
I think that's good.
I got into the conversation and that, and then I think they started to think it.
Yo.
So now we've got a break in the podcast there. That's definitely you.
Is that what me? I haven't moved.
Well, it's your dodgy. It's always you that's dodgy. I didn't know where I'd got to.
You was talking to Lucian Green.
All right, they were talking to Lucian Green, and
he said they was very excited.
Yeah, they were hugely excited, and it's one of those moments you have where it was only a couple of minutes, but you couldn't plan for it, and I found it hugely entertaining because just the abnormal nature of getting yourself suddenly stuck into that conversation with a load of Satanists that have, and that chapter now, the UK is being officially recognised by them, so they are officially in league with Satan. It's true.
Yeah,
it's a fact. It's a fact, but you've kind of ruined the podcast that I wanted to do with your sexual talk.
Well, I think it's so important for people to open up and talk about these things.
I feel like you're...
Do you know what? We're not women, but you've got daughters, but it must be weird, like, no for periods and shit.
I don't get involved.
Yeah, good.
What I've turned into is probably a more ignorant version of my dad. Because he had two sons, so he didn't have daughters to contend with. But I just keep myself well out of it. And
is that Amanda's the problem?
Yeah, and if they ask me about anything, I just revert back to some sort of ape-like mentality, like a massive gorilla, and just responding grunts and use that defence as. It works for me, you know. Is it the best? Is it the best parenting in the world? No. Do I know that? Yeah. Yeah. Am I bothered? Not at all. Because
I would have been saying if it was women's time, I'll just go talk to your mum.
Because I'm not. I am in nowhere near an expert. I don't get embarrassed. I just like go and talk to your mum about it. Do you know what I mean? But then it's not an issue for me. I don't like.
I agree with you.
I've got 3 women in the house, right? Whether you like it or not, you come across it on a daily basis. Yeah. So you kind of get acclimatized to it, whether you wanted to or not. You can't. It's unavoidable. You know.
I agree with you.
But lads, like my oldest, he's like nearly 22. You've got it easy, mate, you lads.
Yeah,
that's good. Less drama as well.
Yeah.
Less drama. And what I would say though, the older they get, the more messy they get.
Yeah.
Like they just leave shit everywhere. Like when they were toddlers, they're bad. But when they get to like 16, 17, 18, they literally just leave everything wherever they are. They leave it where they don't pick things up. They just drop stuff. It's like they've not got a firm grip on anything. They just drop stuff. Like anything you put in their hands, apart from a phone, doesn't stay there. It just falls on the floor.
Yeah.
Have your kids got into the phones thing now, or?
Yeah, both of my oldest have got that because we had an agreement when they turned 11 they could have a phone, No, because they're going to secondary school. I think in secondary school they do need a phone, especially because me and the wife work. Sometimes we're not going to be in when they get back. So they need, you know what I mean? They need that contact. So yeah, no, we always agreed to let them when they turned 11th for the 11th birthday. They both got contract phones as well.
Yeah, how do you police that? You know what the
the middle one, it's the oldest. Not so much now because he knows what to do and what he don't do. But we had an agreement that I could check the phones anytime I wanted. So I check them like once a month.
And what sort of thing are they looking at?
Nothing. They're both really good.
How old are they?
11 and 14.
Yeah, and 14-year-old then, not a problem.
No, so they're like, he set up a Facebook account now. And we said to him that you can have a Facebook account, and he likes, which one does he like? I think it's Facebook or something, but not to put a picture of himself as his profile picture. So things like that, where they'll have like a cartoon drawing as a profile picture, and they'll have no picture of themselves on their Facebook account, because that's how they get targeted, don't they?
It's knowing. It's like my two daughters. They get to the age like mine. My oldest is 18, and the other one was 16 soon, and they don't want you knowing what they're doing.
Yeah. As they get older, that's fine.
It's not.
They're still around the age now where they're going to get targeted, aren't they? When they get to 18, you give them more independence, wouldn't you?
My missus wants us to, they've never watched the film Taken with Liam Neeson. And my missus wants us to sit down and watch Taken with them. As a
parental tool.
Yeah, no, seriously, as an example of what could happen to you. Serious. If you like,
I'd love to you. When you don't get kidnapped, I don't know who you are.
I would have to go there, wouldn't I? I'd take you with me.
Do you know if anybody touched my boys or anybody did anything? Oh man, I can tell you this story. Yeah, I can. So yeah.
Were any animals or children harmed in this story?
No, not children were harmed.
Oh, okay, or animals.
So basically, like when we go to the chip shop on a Friday, pretty much every Friday we go to the chip shop.
Yeah.
And I always go to the chip shop. Before just eat and all this, but yeah, to actually go to the chip shop to get one. Anyway, so the wife turned around and said, "Oh, I'll go to the chip shop." And I went, "Are you sure? I don't mind going." She said, "No, don't fancy a walk." And our oldest was only about 3 or 4. So I was like, okay. So she went to the chip shop, and then about 10 minutes later, I got a phone call off her, and she was really upset. I said, "What's up?" She went, "Oh, they took her out of the chip shop." I went, "What's wrong?" She said, "Oh, this guy keeps trying to touch Liam." I went, "What do you mean touch it?" And she went, like back in the head, and I keep pulling away, and I think he's intoxicated, and he won't leave me alone, so I had to run out of the chip shop. So I seen red. I just literally lost it. So I stormed out the house, and I went, who was it? And it was this guy. I went, "What are you doing?" "Oh, I was just being friendly." And then just as he was saying that, I smacked him.
And what happened next?
I beat shit out of him.
What, in a chipper?
Yeah.
And what did the chip shop owner say?
He gave me an extra sausage.
Did he give you a battered sausage?
No, it was normal.
Or a Savoy?
No, it's not chip shop. Never seen him again after that. I thought I was going to kill him.
You know, that's your Taken story, that is.
Do you know what? If anybody ever, oh God, it's always this saying, and I always had this saying. I say it to my boys: don't win the fight, win the war. I said sometimes you have to lose a fight to win the war.
Do you know what the first casualty in war is? The truth.
Yeah, that's true.
The first casualty. We're poets and we know it.
Yeah, mate.
I like your, I was going to say Dennis Nielsen then, your Liam Neeson take and Chip Shop story.
Honestly, I thought I was going to kill him.
Did you feel like the conquering hero when you came home?
I was still shaking for about an hour after. I was so angry.
It's good though.
I don't lose my temper. That's what I'd never lose my temper. I'm not one of them. I'm not an angry person.
You do when it comes to your kids though.
Oh, I see. I didn't even. Do you know what? I didn't even function.
Have you? And I don't. And we have to be careful with this one. But
yeah.
have you ever been angry at other kids that have like had a go at your kids?
Yeah. Of course. Yeah, it's natural.
So, you see, what my problem is? I have the same level of anger. Doesn't matter what it is. It could be a 10-year-old. It could be a 40-year-old. I have the same level of anger if it's to do with one of the kids. I don't. The size of the target is kind of. It doesn't matter.
I've got another story about that. This is making me sound good.
Do you know what I'm saying though? Because it's that sort of parent anger, isn't it?
Yeah, I agree. I can remember there was a lad at the primary school who was picking on one of my kids, and he was a lot bigger than it. And we did it the right way. We went through the teachers, and went through and then it carried on, and I went through the head teacher. But it was at primary school, and this kid was massive for his age, and he knew it, and he was using it to his advantage. And like I said, my kids aren't brother wimps. This is all London, aren't wimps. They know to stand the ground, but then they know when they're outmatched. So this kid's mum brought him to school every single day. And I waited and waited and waited. And I don't really pick or drop my kids off a lot because the wife does it because I work. But I waited and waited and waited. And I waited 4 months. And just one day, his dad came to drop him off. And I pinned his dad up against the wall, telling him, if your son touches my son again, I'm going to touch you.
That sounds menacing.
And everybody in the playground looked. And then, anyway, it all calmed down. The teachers tried to not have a go or tried to say something to me. And I went, no. I said, I did it the right way. I said, you guys have failed or what you've done. I said, because it's still happening. I said, I went through you guys. I went through their teacher. I went through the governors and did it. Everything what you told me I did. And you still resolved it. So that's when I have to resolve it myself.
God help you if you had daughters.
And guess what?
What?
Stopped.
Result. And the moral to that story is?
Always pick the biggest in the fight.
Okay, that's one way of looking at it. Okay.
That's one way of looking at it.
That's one way of looking at it. And the pills of wisdom there, I like it.
Yeah.
So that's.
Don't fuck with my kids.
Yeah. I think when it comes to your kids, you just like no tolerance policy is the best way, isn't it? What else are you expected to do?
Absolutely.
I don't know if
you try and do things the right way, you don't get to do it.
I'm not sure if we're good role models for society.
I don't think we are, to be honest with you. At least we try.
Listen, on the next podcast, can you go away and look and watch 300 or something? Do me a favour.
Yeah, I'll watch it tonight.
I had Sparta all planned out. Sparta. Now, if you look at some of the parental, wow. I mean, as a society, what the Spartans did with their kids, what you could argue was child abuse. To be honest.
Is it the same as the Trojans?
I don't know. Probably similar. But Spartans, like, they took it up a notch. You know what I mean? They went one step further with everything.
Spartacus.
It's probably a bit dated for what you want. Watch 300. 300, funnily enough, isn't that far from the truth of how they were with each other. And obviously, it's dramatised. It's based off a graphic novel. The film is, but it's a very, very good film. It's got Gerard Butler in it, and the Spartans in it, obviously going against the Persians. But it is a great. It's a really stylized film. If you like, do you like Sin City?
I've never watched it.
Oh God, I'm on a losing battle here. Watch 300. I want to talk about Spartans. You kind of hijack this call with your family's sex life. And I don't even know that I wasn't prepared for that. I wasn't prepared for that.
I'll tell you that. mental health is really important to me at the moment.
I'm not saying it's not, but I've got to think of a title for this podcast. I don't know what to call it.
The Revenge of the Sperm.
No, I'm actually call it Motivational Monday.
Motivational Monday. Oh, Sex Ed Monday.
What's Ed Monday? Who's he?
Sex Ed Monday.
I bet there's somebody called Ed Monday.
No, it's short for education, isn't it?
I was laughing the other day about the people that are called after American states.
Yeah, Rhode Island. There can't be somebody out there called Rhode Island.
It's ridiculous. All right, I'm gonna.
You said we've got an American audience. They must know somebody called Rhode Island.
Well, funny enough, 50% of our American listeners live in California.
California.
I don't know why.
In the OG.
OGs.
We're probably big in Compton.
I don't think we are. I don't know. Well, according to you, it's the size of the UK, so it's, you know.
We could solve the Bloods and the Crips.
I think it's already been solved. I don't think it's a thing anymore. Yeah, I think you're a bit late.
Okay, let's make it a thing. Let's get them backfiring again. Okay, let's get them going again.
You're stuck in 1992, you are, with that philosophy.
Oh, let me tell you this before we go. Next I've got a new phone. I was listening to some music the other day, and I think for about an hour, all I was listening to was probably 88 to 95 gangster rap.
Sweet.
An hour.
I bet you was feeling hardcore when you came out of that.
Oh, mate, do you know what? I didn't realise how good. No ice cubes, no Vaseline. I didn't realise how much of a good song that is. So this song, isn't it? WA, it's such a good song.
The whole rap music around there, street rap around from sort of 88 to 92 was brilliant all round.
Yeah. Really got commercialised.
Yeah, we're not that. We're not like commercialised.
We're original OGs.
We're original OGs because everybody, if we went to Compton, they'd welcome us with open arms.
Yeah, we'll walk down there like, yes. They'll be like, this is the British Mafia.
Straight out of Bull, straight out of the chippy battering the man with my Savaloy.
Straight out of Bull, crazy motherfucking name Clinton, with my boy MD.
I think that's I've had my level of feel today. It's probably the most dysfunctional episode we've ever had, and it's all your fault.
Yeah, but this has been interesting. People find this interesting because it's like relates to real life. I'll probably touch somebody today. I'll probably like raise the light bulb in someone's head and go, yeah, you're right, you know.
And on that note, we'll let people make up their mind to themselves. All right. I'll talk to you about Sparta. Hopefully tomorrow.
Can we do an episode on the Bloods and Crips? I'd love to do one on that.
Oh, fuck's sake. If you listen, I'll do the Bloods and Crips if you go away look at Sparta.
I'll look at some Sparta stuff.
Look at some Sparta. Watch 300, do it. All right. See you later.